How's everybody doing? I'm gonna try another drive time. But who knows, y'all? Who knows? Can't keep my phone straight. Who knows? Who's in the wake of this snowstorm coming? I've got to go up to the farm and get some things done. I know, nobody's ever around when I'm going to go live on Saturday. And I never know when I'm going to go live, so I can't give anybody any notice. I hate that. But I do have this phone holder on my visor. Let's see, there's some people in there. Hey, Miss Alish. How are you, sweetheart? Did you get any of that snow? I forgot to ask you earlier. I've been having trouble with my lives. A lot of buffering, in and out, losing connection. It's good to see you, Miss Alish. I love you, honey. You know I keep you in my prayers. Barefoot Lies, hi, sweetheart. How have you been? Got two of my sweethearts in there. Y'all know I love ya. Miss Donna D, there's three. Love you. Nope, I didn't get any. Oh, good. Well, it's supposed to be about a foot at the farm, less than that at the house. So I left my shower up. Christy H. Hey, hey, hey. Listen, I did my title and then I dropped my phone. So y'all have a blurry picture of my camo on my thumbnail. It fell on the floor. I couldn't catch it. Oh gosh, I can't see y'all. Duct tape daddy, my goodness, where you been, buddy? There was somebody before you. Jessica, hi there. Rip Curl. Hey, Rip Curl. You've been pumping out those videos, buddy. Now listen, y'all know to drop anybody's channel link that has a channel that's in chat. I hope I can keep y'all today. I hope I can. Okay, no time to panic. What did I mean by that? There's no time to panic. I know a lot of people are panicked, and here's what you need to think about. We are supposed to praise the Lord, study to show thyself approved, and have a prayer life and a praise life or relationship, praise relationship with our Lord. And if you found that you were spending more time on YouTube worrying about China and Russia and volcanoes and anything else that could be thrown, that's probably why you're panicked and upset, if I would have to guess. So if something or someone is stealing your joy, whose fault is that? It's our fault. We have to take responsibility. It's time to set boundaries. Now, if you're not prayed up and prepped up, yeah, you might be in a little bit of a panic, because let me tell you, this world is not getting any better. No, but if you want to know really what is going on, get in that Bible. You know, get in the old Bible. Look at the prophecies that match the book of Revelations. Revelation, I know. I'm from the South, we say Revelations. But if you hear something, if you know our leaders are worthless, you pray about it, leave it at the feet of Jesus, and move on. Do not let anything or anybody steal your joy. Our time is short. Okay? That's all I've got to say about that. Because I know a lot of people are in a panic. Panicking is not. I promise you all. Being in a panic, upset to death, can't sleep, overeating, you know, whatever, worrying about this pandemic mess, it's not going to do you any good. Not a bit of good. I wish I could see Chat. I'm on this curvy road. But here's another thing you don't panic about. I wanted to do a video this summer, or fall, actually. I wanted to do it in fall. I had a huge garden fail. I had a pretty decent garden, a big one. My potatoes did good, and my little mountain of tomatoes and onions and all that stuff, that did good. But my decent garden that I wanted, my green beans and vegetables and all that mess, that was an epic fail. And I've been gardening for years, y'all. I was raised up with my grandpa gardening. So anybody can have a fail. But here's the thing. Depending on what zone you're in, it is time to get your seeds ordered. Oh my goodness, Roots and Refuge mentioned it's capital M, capital I, Gardener. And he sells seeds, $2 a pack, y'all. $2 a pack. I could have got double what I have. And you don't need 500 packs. I mean, who in the world is going to plant 40 squash plants? I mean, you can't process that unless you have a big old 10 freezers and 500 jars and, you know, peppers and onions. You don't need that many plants. You know, figure out how much you want to eat for a year. And of course, different varieties grow different amounts of tomatoes and ketchup and tomato sauce and spaghetti sauce and that kind of thing. You want to focus on your tomatoes and your green beans and your potatoes, you know, staples. But I had an epic fail garden last year. But I am in zone 6B, the farm is. So I have got about a month. I've ordered some more herb seeds. Lord, I'm going to have an herb garden like I've never had before. But I want my plants, to be very well established, unlike I did last year. So I'm going to start my seeds the 15th of February. And you have to remember, when you look on those packages and it says 90 days to maturity or 120 days to maturity or 75 days to maturity, you know, that's typically what the days are. Now radishes and lettuces are way less than that. But it starts when you plant it in your, however you start your seeds. Not when you put it in the ground. It's when you start your seeds. So we can't ever plant anything until Mother's Day weekend or the week of Mother's Day here because of the last frost date. So I want my plants well established, and I am going to succession plant. I'm going to, except not the herbs, I'll just plant those one time and they'll do their thing. But like my peppers and onions and green beans, squashes, I am going to start plants to go in the ground that I should be getting a harvest by the end of June, and then July and August, and then I'm going to replant in August, and I'll direct sow those because the squashes and pumpkins and onions and lettuce, that kind of stuff, loves the cooler temperatures. So I'll just direct sow that stuff the end of August, 1st of September, and still have plenty of grow days because they're not frost tender. So then I'll have a lot of squashes to put up for the winter time. But what we're going to have to learn to do, and I'm not going to go into the news, y'all know the news. Y'all know the news. I'm not going to go into all the news. But you know, we've got to learn to eat what we can process or long-term storage, what we can buy for long-term storage, or what we can eat this season. You know, you can get your potatoes to last a good while if you can store them right. Your cabbages, you can leave your potatoes. I don't know if y'all watch Melissa K. Norris or not, but the last 2 years, she's just cut the tops off her potatoes and stacked about 2 feet of straw on them and left those babies in the ground and goes and digs them when she wants them. I'm going to try that with a couple of rows of my potatoes. Cabbages, you don't cut any of the leaves off, roll those big old leaves around them, turn them upside down, plant them in the ground. You don't have to process your cabbage. Now your green beans, your tomatoes, you know, if you're going to do the soft neck onions so you can braid them and dry them and put them up. If you're going to try to grow that stuff in the fall and in the early spring, you really need to have a way to cover it. Even if you cover it with a sheet, just keep the direct, you know, frost or snow or whatever it is off of them. And Roots and Refuge also, she said it's her #1 viewed video. I saw it when she first put it up. I've been watching her a long time, where she just took some potting soil and put some lettuce seeds in it and laid the potting soil on a tote lid and then capped a clear tote over it, and she grew lettuces on her porch through the snow season. So you need to be looking at your seeds. You know, you do not have to, and I didn't know this until Jess on Roots and Refuge. She's doing a series on seeds right now. She said it's against the law for any seed companies to sell GMO seeds. So none of the seeds even that you're buying at the dollar store are GMO seeds. Be careful not to get seeds from certain countries, I would suspect. But it's time for everybody, you know, if you're thinking about doing something, improving something, I'm sorry about this phone, where I dropped it. I was in a hurry to get back on the road. I'm trying to beat daylight or dark. I'm burning daylight. Of course, I'm always late. Never can get out of town when I want to. But you got to get those gardens. You got to start growing. You can grow. Do you know you can grow tomatoes in Pepsi bottles in a south-facing window in your house? You can. You sure can. If you have a bright enough light, you can grow all kinds of things in your house, in your apartment. But if you don't have the resources to get canned food out of the store, you better get those seeds going. Look at your growing zone, and the growing zone has to do mostly with the length of time that you have for a grow season. Like with your potatoes, you need no less than 120 days to grow your potatoes from the time you put to the time you harvest them. Now you can harvest them sooner than that, but they're going to be little, you know. And you're still, even if you go the 120 days, you're going to get little ones and big ones. So, you know, you gotta be looking at that. You know, I think that's about the longest that you have to wait to grow is your potatoes. But if you can't grow potatoes, then you substitute with rice. That's starch, that's filling. But I always say, if pickings are slim, no matter what you cook, no matter what you give your family, if you pray over that meal, it will fill you. It'll fill everybody's little tummy. But I want everybody to start looking at growing. I did a thing, I did a live last summer. I started my seeds in, I always say Dixie cups. It was Solo cups, red Solo cups. So they would have, you know, time to grow. But I got too anxious. I was too excited. I hadn't had a big garden in years, and I wanted to get them babies in the ground. And we had a torrential downpour, washed all my plants away. But I am going to do the mound of the garden. I've seen several people you know, we only used to ever heal our potatoes. And after I lost everything last year, I healed all of my squashes. Now the deer ate them, but I've got Billy's bone sauce to get rid of those deer this year. It's supposed to get rid of deer, skunk, squirrel, everything. Won't come near your garden. For right, sit around worrying, crying. Don't let any of this steal your joy. If you have any stealing your joy, set boundaries. Pray, put it at the feet of Jesus and move on. We don't have enough time to be sad. Jesus is coming anytime. We know what the plan is. We have done, heard, and listened and sat through so many videos over the last, especially 2.5 years, of all the crap that's going on. We know what's coming. Okay? If you're prayed up and prepped up with Jesus, you don't have to worry about that, folks. Now, do you? So don't let any of this steal your joy. If you watch a 20 minutes, you watch an hour and a half, 2 hour, that you're praising and show you thyself approved, just make sure you're in that Bible. Make sure you're where you need to be with the Lord. And nobody can steal your joy. You'll stop worrying about all this junk that's going on. Yeah, it's a mess. But you know what? Mama always told me to thank Jesus every day for being born in this country. And I do. I do. Yeah, man, it's a hot mess right now. And it's only going to get worse. But most of my viewing audience is between the ages of 55 and 70. Look, we've had 55 to 70 years that we haven't had bombs going off on our head at any moment like the Middle East countries. We're not like the third world countries. We've never had to worry about food. You know, we have been blessed, truly blessed. So times are going to get a little rough, okay? Do you remember your great grandparents talking about the Great Depression? They lived through it. Was it a slice of cake? No. They had it rough. But they made it through it. They learned how to survive. God knows we've all watched enough survival and prepping videos a blasted lifetime. What is my byline? Don't be scared, prepared. Now, if you're not prepared for a long-term incident, food and heat and shelter and a bug-out location, then the odds are against you. Just going to be honest with you. The odds are against you on this earth. But you're going to beat all of us to heaven. You know, I've often wondered, will Jesus come back and will I really need to use my preps? Or will they be left for somebody else to find them? Man, I hope so. Man, that would be the best scenario. Holy smokes. That would thrill me to death. Oh, Lord, to be dancing on the streets of gold and praising Jesus. But, you know, I'll never feel like I'm worthy to look at. I never will feel like that. But no matter what prepping you need to do, get to prepping. Set boundaries. If you've got somebody that's just filled with an evil spirit or demon, ever stealing your joy, set boundaries or get them out of your life. You have somebody nagging, you know, you've got to do it. There are set boundaries. Unless you have a husband, you don't have to answer to anybody. And you know this thing about, you know, the husband and the wife. If you've got a husband that is not taking care of you and your children, and I mean working, paying the bills, you know, disabled, that don't count, you know, supposed to live as Jesus loved the church. The church is us. It's not that big building with the or the church. If that man is loving you like Jesus and he's keeping your emotional bucket full, then yeah, you're supposed to go with him to make decisions. I mean, that's just the way it is. But you'll have marriage that you're not at, like, I burn my bra in the 70s. I'm not doing that. Well, I didn't burn my bra in the 70s. I want a man that'll, well, not anymore. When I was married, that would adore and worry about mowing and paying the bills and let me raise the kids and oh, I even mowed the grass. I was appreciative. I got to stay home. I need gas. Get here a big old with not enough. And I'm going to put my leather glove. I don't worry about the they says I'll be putting my gas with you. My leather glove on. Static. I'm not gonna size top phone or sorry about that. Before they started saying, get my door on that post, saying not to be holding your phone while you were pumping gas. So I can see, yeah, but damn, hey, buddy, could you go? Sure, I'll pass it right through the phone, pumpkin.